What's up, guys and gals, and welcome back to the Nerd Castle for the next episode of Weekly Indie Newcomer. This week we're going to be doing something a little bit different. I don't tend to focus on mobile games, but this week I've been playing a lot of Meltdown, and so I think I'm going to bring you guys along as I play through this for just a little bit. So this is our Weekly Indie Newcomer. It's called Meltdown, and why have I selected it for this week? Well, I've selected it for this week because I am a sucker for twin-stick shooters. I just simply cannot walk away from them. It's been a lifelong addiction, and it's one of those types of games that really just kind of grabs me by the head, shakes me until my eyes rattle around, and then you get kind of that cowbell sound as things rattle. But anyways, I like Meltdown quite a bit because it does introduce some tactical elements to the overall equation as well, which is kind of a unique thing. The game is available on iOS and it is available on Droid. As far as I know, it was developed by Phenomenon Games. It can be purchased for $3.99 on Steam if you wanted to purchase it. Now, this game doesn't suffer from a lot of mobile games, so I'll start off by saying this. Why mobile games don't typically show up on Weekly Indie Newcomer is because they really have the tendency to be overpolished to the extent that they're just too simplistic. There's no way to garner any type of enjoyment out of the game, and that leads me to call them just like poop games. Not necessarily that the game is poop, but that's how you occupy yourself when you void your bowels in the bathroom for like 2.5 minutes, you get enough of a fix, and then you go do something else for a while. There you go. Mobile games, poop games. So, Meltdown is not such a game. I found it to be enjoyable just because it introduces enough mechanics to be fun while remaining simplistic enough to still be arcadey. So without further ado, let's go ahead and play the game. And we're not going to talk about any of this stuff right here until I have a context in which to talk to you about it. Like, I could go through and I could talk about all the weapons and I could talk about all the talent trees right here in the front, but I think what you're probably interested in if you looked up this game is getting straight into the gameplay. So let's talk about missions. There are 30 missions in the game right now. Meltdown is currently in alpha access, so it is being developed. They're adding more content as the game goes along. This is our character right here, and the first thing we want to notice is this super awesome bandana. If I had a bandana like this, I would never go to sleep cold ever again. In fact, I think every man, when he reaches the adulthood, should be issued a bandana like that so that we can do like manly stuff with it, like chop trees and chew logs and eat waffles and fry bacon or whatever it is. But all of those things would definitely gain a bonus from that headband right there. I will say that I hope at some point the developers think about making your character customizable, because you do have a lot of extra currency once you get done with all your upgrades and whatnot, and it'd be nice to have something else to sink that into. And plus, everybody wants to make their character look like them, so that's just something that I would point out. Everybody wants their character to kind of embody, they want that to be their avatar. So anyways, let's do a mission here. We're going to do mission number 9. I've left this offline because I didn't want any people sneaking on into our game and ruining our experience. The game is online. So the first thing I thought when I played this game was like, hell yeah, let me get my friends in on this. You can indeed. So you can play this game online if you wish to. Right now there's only like 40 people online at any given moment. I think the game wasn't as popular as one would have hoped. And so I'm really trying to help that out here at the Nerd Castle. I mean, hopefully we'll get a little bit of exposure going on. And maybe tomorrow that number will be a little bit higher and it'll be my fault. So let's play mission number 9. Go! Quick load time's a great thing, and so this is the way that the game is going to be presented for the remainder of the playthrough. WASD controls my movement. There it is right there. My mouse is controlling my spinitude right here, so there we can do like a little tornado action. We can like moonwalk our way into the battlefield like so, and then just do a little spin, and then yeah. And then we let the bandana settle for a second. You got to let it settle for a second. And so that enemy has Defilade, and this is going to be a Grenadier, and this is one of the new enemies that I just unlocked. Now, the thing with Grenadiers is if they hit you with one of those grenades, you get knocked down, and it totally sucks. It hurts a lot. The game does have a pretty wide variety of enemies right now. My right click is allowing me to melee this enemy, and why am I meleeing him? Well, because he's got ass tons. I mean, this dude has so much HP that it's ridiculous, so you don't want to waste ammo on him. At the bottom of the screen, you will see my level up bar. I am currently level 17. You will see my number 1 gun, which is the SMG, which is fully upgraded, and you will see my number 2 gun, which is this ridiculously huge revolver, which looks like something out of RoboCop. The old one, not the new one. Forget the new one. You don't want anything to do with the new one. That right there, landmine. Probably don't want to step on that. Your pedicle will not love you any further if you step on that. Now, the difference between my 2 guns, my revolver is like a sniper rifle almost. It does a ton of damage. It's uber accurate. It locks onto the enemy slightly, so it has like an aim assist. And one thing you'll notice is you see this little thing right here, how it's filled up with red? None of the clips in this game have a definite size, and so your gun doesn't have a maximum clip. What happens is it's kind of similar to if you combined all the guns in Halo, like the ones used by the Combine and also the ones that are used by, I don't know, Master Chief, so the human guns. I don't play those games a whole lot. So anyways, the guns do have ammo, so you can run out of ammo, but they also overheat. The overheating mechanism is how the game determines how much is left in your clip, so you can no longer fire once you overheat. If you press the R key, you will reload and automatically reset that, but it will take you a second, and then you can get back to firing them bullets. I'm gonna dive over that landmine. which didn't appear to work very well. So we've got a couple new enemies right here. Those guys right there are rocket launchers, and they can be a nuisance. You saw right there that enemy took cover, so let's talk about the cover system. That's right, this game does use a cover system, which is very similar to like Gears of War. So if I get in behind these boxes, you'll see that I crouch. All of the shots that are coming from this side can no longer hit me. I'm now immune. If I wanted to go over the box, I press the space bar, which is going to allow me to vault it. And then if I press the space bar while just running around, it'll allow me to roll. Now, you can still get hit while rolling. It doesn't make you immune to damage, but it does make you move a lot quicker, which is exactly what you need when you're kiting around a ton of enemies. The cover system is useful, but I would say that it's mildly useful. It's useful in controlled situations, but if you find yourself in a spot where there's just too many guys running around, you're probably going to want to fall back on kiting and just hoping to God that they don't catch you and eat you for breakfast, because these robots are definitely carnivorous in some respect. They are very, very interested in hunting me. The game doesn't have a storyline from what I can tell. It just seems to be like Demolition Man or something of that nature, where it's like takes a maniac to catch one, and then you just get to the catchphrases. There you go. You see the cover right there? It's working. I'm not getting shot, which is a good thing. Not getting shot is always a good thing, unless you're trying to go get a vaccination, in which case not getting shot probably means you're going to get the ridiculous deadly flu and die. Sorry. It's just your turn. I don't control these things. He's going to throw out 2 grenades. I'm going to get in here and I'm going to melee the hell out of this guy. Now, there are a ton of different weapons in this game. From my count, I think there's like 14 or 15 in the game right now. Each gun functions differently, so once you get used to a gun, I'd recommend swapping it out. Upgrade some other guns and play around a little bit. Everything from rocket launchers to grenade launchers to sniper. Oh, something bad's about to happen. They just locked me in here. Oh, it's wave fight. Okay, so it does have these random events. The game is semi-randomly generated, so every time you play level 9, it might be a little bit different in that you might get different events. So this is an event right here. It's a wave defense where I've just got to stay alive throughout the remainder of these enemies. These little gas tank looking guys right there, they have a button on the front, which leads me to believe that like if I would just push the button, all these robots would turn off, but they fired rockets at me. Oh, I'm getting hit in the face by that thing's red rocket over and over and over again. That's not pleasurable. I do not accept. Wait, yeah, you get away from. Oh, a landmine. Okay, so he's trying to deactivate my shield. That's what he does, I think. Try and get some melee kills in right there. Get rid of his shield. And also try not to get hit by a grenade. So why this matters? Why don't you want to be hit by explosives in this game? Explosives knock you down, which leads me to one of my first critiques. Explosives are basically a one-shot. If you get knocked down in this game while the screen is full, guess what? You're dead as dirt. You are deader than dirt. Dirt is more alive. It has more mana than you do. So let me knife this guy to death. He has a large button on his back, too. I'm really starting to think that if I just took the moment to get to know these robots and then push their button properly, I'm pushing their button in the wrong way. I'm pushing it with bullets, and the way that I really need to do it is with my lovely finger, my skilled pushing finger, which has pushed many buttons in its lifetime. In fact, it's pushing buttons right now. If I had to say one thing that I was really practiced at, it would be pushing them buttons, both with humans. In a humanist respect, I'm good at pushing people's buttons, trolling, you know how it goes. It's an acquirable skill as you be on the internet long and longer. Wow, I messed up English right there. I took English right there and I just manhandled it. But anyways, as you're on the internet longer and longer, you get better at trolling and trolling. Couple more enemies right here. It might be useful to take some cover, but then again, cover's for the weak. Especially since these little guys right here don't stop firing, so there's not really any major use in being in cover, because they're never going to give you an opening anyways. Now, what is some of the stuff I'm picking up? These little golds right here are exactly what I just said. They're a currency. We spend these on upgrades later on, and that's pretty much all you use them on at the moment, upgrades. These little things right here, these little red up keys, those are upgrade keys. You need those to upgrade your guns. You physically cannot upgrade your guns without them, whereas you can upgrade your character without money or keys. The guns require a lot of money and a lot of they require a lot of currency and a lot of keys. Oh, we leveled up right there. I'm going to point out one of the things that bugs me about leveling up in this game. Now, typically leveling up is a good thing. Most people be like, how could you possibly not like leveling up? Well, when you're leveling up, it puts you into slow-mo, and he keeps shooting even if you take your finger off the key. It costs you that ammo. So if you have like 7 ammo left and you level up, sucks to be you. You are now out of ammo because he will just like spray his bullets in slow-mo. He will basically sacrifice the rest of your ammo in the effort of looking cool, which is disappointing. It's maddening and saddening and not very gladdening. He's going to jump over there. I'm going to come over. Oh, no, don't point blank grenade me. That seems like a bad prospect for both you and I, pal. I would rethink that one. Melee kills always reward you with more XP, so you want to go for melee kills when you can. Plus, ammo can be limited in this game. I found that the gameplay is very tense and very frenetic a lot of the time because you run out of ammo constantly. I'm a spray and pray type of guy, so I tend to just fire bullets haphazardly, like all over the map, just not even caring where it's going. Just let them rain, kind of a bullet spray type situation. That's a bad type of player to be if you play these types of games, or at least if you play Meltdown in particular, because you can run out of ammo and then you're stuck with your knife, and there are definitely enemies that are immune to knifing. They aren't immune to knifing per se, but if you get close, they can one-shot you. So they have like shotguns, they have bayonets, they have all kinds of stuff that are just generally bad for your health. I'm gonna get missiled in the face right there because moving out of the way is too difficult for me. I'm just too dense for that. I'm gonna try and get rid of this guy before he gets close to me because he does self-destruct. I don't know if that self-destruct hurts other enemies. This guy's who I'm talking about right there. You see that large bayonet? He so badly, he just wants to stab you with it very, very badly. And I don't want to be stabbed with a bayonet right now. That doesn't work out for me. That's not an end game that I really qualify for, I don't think. I've been trying really hard not to get bayoneted. I'm gonna swap over to the revolver for just a moment. Oh, I missed. Damn, we don't have enough ammo to miss like that. And now we have to be stuck reloading for a very, very long time because I can't aim worth dick. Big, big problem right there. Alright, so we're out of ammo for the revolver. Let's get back in here. In the earlier missions, your ammo does regenerate to a certain extent, which is kind of an interesting mechanic, but it does cheapen the gameplay and make it easier. All of the tense nature of this game is kind of generated from the fact that you simply just don't have enough bullets to get everything done. By the way, that big green Mountain Dew looking thing, that Mountain Dew of murder that I just drank, it gives us double damage, which is a really cool thing to have during boss fights and stuff. After every one of these events, they will give you some of these crates so that you can replenish your gear, so be aware they will give you a nice infusion of both health and ammo if you can survive the random events. I will tell you there are different random events, so there's one where you have to push a button and then run and destroy a node while millions of guys are attacking you, and the node only stays open for a couple of seconds, and so you're running around. That's actually probably the most tense. Oh, I got hit with a grenade. Ooh, I got point blanked with a grenade too. Alright, let's run away for a second. You don't regenerate health, so bear that in mind. You will never get your health back. That's just that. You have to find yourself some medkits if you want that. It's old school. You see that little glowing knob right there? If I can get my hands on it, it's going to give me a bunch of health back. I'm going to try and... He is very, very good at jumping these barriers, and it's making me sad. Stop jumping the barrier, pal. Just die. Let me kill you. Let me stab you with this huge, oversized knife. He's like, no! Don't stab me with an oversized knife. Don't you have, like, non-lethal weaponry, like a beanbag gun? Hell no, we go full lethal. We go full lethal, and there's the elevator to the end of the level. Now, at the end of each level, you will be graded in true fashion. So, just like most kind of mobile games, you are going to get this random splash screen. I mean, I guess for all games. You get graded based on how long the mission took, how many kills you got, how much damage you took, and so we got a little over 1 star. So, we didn't do that great. I mean, we did better than 50th percentile. But, you know, it's the best we could do. If you can make it through without getting hit, you'll get the full 3 stars, and then you get bonuses to, like, different things. We also picked up no crates, so you do get random crates in the runs that look just like the ones from Mario Brothers. They have big question marks on them. At the end of the level, you'll get to open those up, and you'll either get currency, you'll get extra keys, you'll get level ups, or I'm sorry, you'll get 1-ups, you will get nothing, or you can also get bonus XP out of them, so you can get a lot of stuff. A lot of the time, you seem to get nothing, so I think it's about a 50-50, and then it splits. Once you actually register for getting something, it splits these. You got like a 25% of any of those. Now that we've done a mission and you see how things work, we can talk about the upgrade system. So those of you who only wanted to see the gameplay, go forth and purchase the game or thumb your nose at it, whatever you're going to do at this point. I don't judge. You can buy a couple of different things. So we have money, and if we wanted to upgrade a gun, let's take a look at our primary equip. I would like to buy something new, but I don't have the money for it. So you'll see here, I've unlocked a grenade launcher, which costs 1,000. I can't really afford it right now. I've unlocked a heavy MG that I can't afford at the moment. I can assume that it seems like there's gaps in the game where you could purchase currency, so I'm guessing that's probably how it funds itself on the iOS. Don't take me to task on that. I could be wrong. So I want to say that I haven't checked that at all, so I could be wrong. It just seems to me playing the PC version that you're always low on currency, and that seems to be a setup for buying more stuff. The game doesn't have microtransactions in it. I wouldn't be covering it in Weekly Indie Newcomer if it did. I hate microtransactions with such a passion. If the game is free, okay, then I guess there can be microtransactions, but I shelled out $4 for the game already. No, I'm just kidding. The developer gave it to me. But if I bought the game for $4, I want the whole damn game. Don't nickel and dime me to death. And so I am glad that there are no microtransactions in the game. I'm just saying that it seems to me as though there may be microtransactions in the iOS version just because you seem to not have enough money a lot of the time. And it's not that you don't have enough money by a slow margin. Like, for example, I just unlocked this gun right here. I haven't had enough coin for this. I've probably been playing for about an hour since I unlocked this gun, and I still don't have enough money for it. So it just seems like the game's got a little bit of a grind going on. If we wanted to upgrade a gun, let's take a look at the upgrades. Every single gun can have 9 points put into it. And if you look at the upgrade screen right here, we had choices. So there's 2 different trees you can go down, and you can allocate a total of 9 stars. And this one, I've decided to go all the way down the tree because these each predicate the other. So you have to unlock this before you can get to this, before you can get to this. So if I went 1 over here, I would then be stuck going only 2 down right here. And since these ones all build on each other, it seems to be in the nature of the fact that it's really, really nice that you can kind of just go on up the upgrade tree And the final one tends to be so good that you don't seem to want to multi-class very much. Now on this side we have nanite ammo. This is going to allow you to oh, that's where I got the ammo regeneration from, so that explains it. So nanite ammo, I said that you got that in the earlier missions. That may be because I respec. So anyways, nanite ammo, that makes you regenerate ammo as you go through the playthrough. I wouldn't recommend that. It's probably going to take a lot of the tense nature of the game away from you. It's going to remove a lot of the... Oh, I suppose that the game definitely feels as though you have momentum, and running out of ammo keeps everything just pulse pounding. So you've also got rapid fire. It increases your firing rate. And then the final one you've got is you've got ice cold bullets, which gives you a chance to fire the weapon without your heat going up. It gives you freebie bullets, basically. On this side, what I've chosen is heat sink. You generate less heat when firing, 60% less in fact. Heavy barrel, do 20% more damage. And explosive bullets, that means that it's going to do a tiny AoE every time I hit an enemy that hits everything. I like that a lot. Let's go back and upgrade some guns, right? No, I don't want to quit to menu. Let's go back. There we go. So let's upgrade some guns. I'm going to buy a new knife. So there is a chainsaw right here. And I'm going to... Hey, click the chainsaw, man. I trust in you. There we go. So I'm going to buy the chainsaw for 800 coins. And there's no upgrades that I could put in, but it does do a lot more damage than my basic knife. You'll also note that I have unlocked the plasma cutter, but I can't quite get to it just yet. There's also a fire axe and a wrench, which do their own thing. I don't really like the battle wrench as being the ultimate weapon. I do wish that you could maybe upgrade some of the lower level weapons as a money sink to make them as good as the final weapon, because I feel cooler running around. I'm a Warhammer fan, so I love chainswords. If I can have a chainsword, I'm gonna have one. Let's think about maybe upgrading the revolver then. We had ammo belt, which increases the amount of ammo we have. Now, based on how little ammo it has, it may not be worth putting a lot of points into those. With focused sights, we get a better critical chance. That's not so great either, so I think I'm just gonna go with the upgrade right there. That being said, let's look at our skills. So there are 30 places you can put skills in, and these function the exact same way that your weapons do. In allocating your skills, these are free. These don't cost you currency, and they don't cost you upgrade keys either. So as long as you have skill points, you can allocate some of them. I've gone down the soldier tree, which gives you more damage. It gives you better melee damage, and it also gives you an increased critical strike chance. So this is kind of the tree you want to go down if you want to make your guns better. I've also put the first layer of points in on specialist, which gives you more ammo, and medic, which allows you to have more health because I was having trouble beating one of the bosses. I'll probably take all those out. In fact, let's reset this thing right now. Oh, it's going to cost me money. Never mind, I can't do it. I'm too broke. My pockets are too empty. Well, since I can't unallocate all this, I suppose I will... There's extra juice. We could have more shield, or we can go down to last round. Last round right here, it makes it so the last bullet in your clip does a ridiculous amount of damage. It's good if you use guns that don't have a lot of ammo, like shotguns and revolvers, but not so good if you're using machine guns like me. We have battery tab. We can do hot metal, maybe? No, we can't allocate that either. So I guess our only choice right now, since I don't like last round, it's going to be extra juice or cool run. I think I'm going to go with cool run, so we'll upgrade that twice so our guns will cool down quicker. That's going to help us out with the revolver because its cooldown time is absolutely ridiculous. From here on out, you've seen what the game has to offer, so I'm going to keep playing for about 10 minutes, and from here, there's probably not a whole lot to talk about. As we play through this next mission, we'll do mission number 10 because it looks like we're going to do a boss or something. Maybe? I don't know. It's got a crazy little look right here, so let's play the mission, and I'll talk about the pros and cons of the game as we go through because that is one of those things that I like to do. The pros of the game is that everything feels streamlined. It's definitely got a nice presentation, and it even looks nice on computer. One of the things that I found with PC games versus the iOS or the Droid versions is that they tend to just be as ugly as the phone version. From what I can tell, this game looks really nice. You can apply VSync, and you can rank it on up. It doesn't have a lot of customizable controls for the graphics, but you can rank things on up to Ultra, which I suppose probably looks better than the iOS version, which may be stuck at Standard. So the game does look pretty. It does add a whole lot more filters and visual things to the game as you upgrade the graphics. There are a lot of upgrades to be had here. There's a lot of things to work towards. There's a lot of things to put into your backpack. There's a lot of things to mess with. And so you can kit a lot of the guns out in two different ways. I would like to see 3 trees for each gun in the future, just to give you that little bit of extra oomph for your buck. But as it stands right now, for $3.99, the game is quite the purchase. I'm trapped between a landmine and a grenade, and I don't like that. Other pros is that the guns do feel responsive. You do feel like you're hitting the enemies. I do like the sound effects that are being used, and they do feel, for me, a big feature of shooter games is I like the guns to feel as though they've got oomph to them. They've got impact. They've got hitability. They've got the feeling of weight behind the bullets, and I do feel as though everything is right where it needs to be in this game. With regards to the pacing of the game, I feel that that's very good too. The pacing of the game is rapid fire. It's quick. You never have a moment to breathe. You're always dealing with some new problem. You're always ducking into cover. And let's duck into cover. Speaking of which, right here, I got hit by the second round, so we're going to have to peek on this one. There we go. So we got rid of him. There's a wide variety of enemies in the game for an alpha right now. I think I've seen like 9 or 10 already, and each one does something different. Each one has a different timing that you have to learn. Each one has a different strategy that's there. Some of them are there as bullet sinks, like the Grenadiers. These guys right here are bullet sinks. They are meant to waste your ammo so that later on down the line you get yourself killed in a desperate situation. Oh, he ducked me. Okay, so let me use my revolver on this guy since it does a bit more damage and I feel like it's a tad more cost effective. And what I will say is in the pros, the cover system does work, but I'd like to see it implemented a little bit better. Oh no, I may die right here. There we go. And that does kind of bring us to the music section, I suppose. God, the knockdown, that's what I'm talking about right there. The knockdown from the explosive basically lines you up to die. There's not a whole lot more you're going to be able to doing about it, and we're down to like 1 star now. So basically our entire mission is flubbed over getting hit by 1 grenade. I don't like that a whole lot, but I'll talk about that in the cons section. Additionally, in the pros, the music is very, very good in this game. I like it. It's a little bit dubsteppy sometimes, but then again, you do get some pretty good like house club grooves going on. I'm not a huge techno or electro fan, but I found myself getting into the action. It fits because you're fighting robots, so I do like the way that the music is implemented. That is really, really cool. With respect to some of the other things, I have noticed that some of the guns tend to pull to the left, which is kind of a weird thing to notice, but as you're firing, one of the big things I've noted as I've played through the game, and I did want to bring it up, and this is more on the cons section of the game, some of the guns pull to the left, so even though you're aiming right at the enemy with respect to where the bullet is going, I feel as though you're always firing slightly off to the left, so it may be one of those things that's going to bother people that really, really like accuracy and precision. For me, especially when you're firing. So these 2 quadrants, quadrants 1 and 2, so if you divide this into 4 grids, this quadrant and this quadrant, the gun doesn't pull to the left. I don't know. This quadrant and this quadrant, if you're firing in this direction or this direction, the gun feels like it's pulling to the left. And I don't know if that's due to the fact that it's my perception or the way that the camera's facing that's giving you that impression, but somehow I feel like that needs to be fixed for the game to be working properly. I can make all of my shots 100% of the time aiming at the enemy's forehead in this quadrant, but if I aim right at the enemy in this side and this side, it goes off to the left, so I always find myself aiming to the left when I'm in these little circles. Or I'm sorry, in these little grids. It's it's a weird thing to notice. On the con section, I will talk about one-shots. One-shots are a little bit of a pain because you'll get knocked down and then everything will just kill you instantaneously. The knockdowns, I think, need to be a little bit quicker. So you get knocked down and you take a little bit of damage, but then again, part of the challenge of the game is that you can slip up once and die. So I don't know. Maybe I'm kind of malinformed right there, ill-informed. The other cons that I've seen of the game so far is that there are some weird things. So for example, if you're on the opposite end of cover right here, like you're right on the edge of cover, you will still roll. So when you press the space bar, it jumps you over. I've gotten killed a number of times because you actually need to be touching this before you can vault over it. If you're just slightly away from it, like right here, it'll cause you to roll, which will get you killed because you have to finish the animation. So even though you're technically in cover, that roll right there will kill you off. That needs to be tightened up. That's a definite con for me, and it's killed me 3 or 4 times, even though I've only got like 2 or 3 hours of gameplay locked in. Other things that I've noticed, sometimes the cover can be a little squirrely, so if you're on the side of the cover right here, and an enemy is firing from right there, you'll still get hit even though you should have cover from it. It's kind of one of those gray areas. I consider it that if the enemy isn't in this gap right here, I shouldn't be getting hit, so like, somebody that's back in over there, if I can't hit them, they shouldn't be able to hit me. It may be like the nature of where the sandbags are placed. Just another thing that I've noticed. Other cons that I'll talk about is some of the guns seem a little bit underpowered compared to others. I would say that the shotgun requires a little bit more range to be useful in any respect. Right now you have to run up on enemies and point blank them, and the vast distribution of enemies as it stands right now are really heavy-handed if you get close to them. A lot of the enemies really punish you for getting in close, and so the shotgun just kind of loses its usefulness. Is that mine going to go off on me? I'm terrified of that mine right now. One thing that I do like is the enemies do invoke a lot of the abilities that are available to you. So they roll, they take cover, they behave much like a player would, and they do a pretty good job of evading you as well, especially the Grenadiers and some of the shotgunners. They'll get in behind, they'll jump over stuff, they'll try and close ground with you, but they'll try and be safe about it as well. They won't just run out of cover if you're spraying bullets all over the place. But anyways, we were talking about cons. So other cons that I can see, the controls are pretty tight. Other than the things that I've brought up just right now, those are the little things that I've noticed have just been kind of like, damn it, as I've been playing and have just kind of bothered me. I do think that the game has a lot of... I'm going to talk about things that I'd like to see added to the game. So first and foremost, as I said when we first started playing, I'd like to see customizability added to the character. I'd like to be able to put on new hats. I'd like to be able to customize my guns. Maybe have like a gold Scarface version of a gun. Wow, that hurt like hell. Okay, I don't want to do that anymore. Let's stay away from him. Oh, he puts a little red thing on the ground. Okay. I would like to see character customizables in the game. I would like to see a lot more multiplayer added as well. I know that's out of the developer's hand, but maybe publish to the fact that... Oh! Maybe publish... Oh, we're dead. Okay, so I'm going to continue with one of my 1-ups. And as you can see, the bosses are very, very challenging. That is one of the pros that I would add to my list. The game does have a lot of challenge to it. I've heard people saying that they've been stuck on like level 4 for like an entire day, not being able to win. I got stuck on level 5 for a bit. And like with these guys right here, I would say that they need to stop firing, because rolling into cover with those guys is absolutely pointless. Like, you can't take cover because they just fire until they walk over your barrel. At least make them go at least a little while without firing. I mean, I think they're probably being used right now with the way the game's got them as cover denial, but at the moment they almost seem like these undeniable gods of destruction, and we're about to get knocked out. Let me do some double damage while I've got the double damage buff. God, that is brutal. So as I said, the knockdown, big problem with where the game's at right now. So anyways, areas for improvement. I'd like to see the knockdown nerfed pretty heavily. I'd like to see the customizability added to the game, and maybe bring the prices down just a slight bit on some of the upgrades, because as it stands right now, you've got to play a lot of missions just to upgrade like one thing, and so that's what leads me to believe there may be microtransactions in the mobile version that can kind of speed up that process. My name is Splattercat. This game is Meltdown. It was developed by Phenomenon. If you wanted to check the game out, I've got the links down below. It's $3.99, which is pretty cheap, and I think you're going to get some bang for your buck. Play it with your friends, have a little bit of fun, get your Smash TV on, and I will see you guys in the next episode. This is Weekly Indie Newcomer. I publish these every Friday, although I have been thinking about doing multiples a week now, because I'm just getting, now that I've started developing reviews, I've got developers, and I've got, you know, just studios coming left and right dropping games on my desk, and I feel like I can't cover them all, so I may start doing multiples a week. I don't know if I can fit that into my work schedule, but anyways, right now they come out on Fridays if you're new to the Nerd Castle. Take care out there, everybody, and we will see you next time. Check out Meltdown.